Hey, Mike. I think they made a concerted effort early. Gafford get inside Porzingis. Then sort of after that, what kind of tone do you think that set? Not only for them, but even to get Brook in foul trouble, Serge in foul trouble, and sort of start the game that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think a little bit unusual, not the norm. You know, collectively we usually protect the rim and protect the paint well. Individually, Brooks as good as they come. So credit to Gafford had a good start to the game. Their guards did a good job of finding him. He finished. Brooks 2 fouls. One of them's an illegal screen, and the other one's Corey Kispert driving it from the corner. So I don't think it had anything to do with them trying to attack him or be in the paint. But I do think his early foul trouble, just probably threw us off a little bit, threw him off a little bit. But credit to them. Washington played really well tonight.
Um, just a matter of not being able to string together enough stops, at least. I think there were a couple points where it got to 12, 15, where you're kind of connected, but you probably need some of those extra stops.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're 34, 34, and 30. We had one quarter where it felt like we got stops, and so yeah, defensively, again, a lot of players stepped up and played well for them, made shots for them, made twos, made some tough twos, and we couldn't get enough stops.
You guys have had a couple games this year without like the big three, and you've been able to create offensively. Different guys stepped up. I think 16 turnovers tonight. I don't know what you thought about the flow offensively, but kind of what happened tonight that did not occur.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the film. Again, just we're missing. I think the point guard play. It's so we have a couple guys that are kind of filling in at that backup spot, and you know, Bobby and Brooke. They're two guys that we've played through that have given us good things, and tonight, just didn't really happen for us. We got up a lot of threes, which we like. We just got to make a few more of them.
Marjan ended the night with 11, and I think all of them came in that little run in the second quarter. Just what did you like about kind of his effort tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I really like that run. I think I like his willingness to continue to shoot the ball. I feel like one of his makes was just after, like, literally on an offensive rebound kick back to him, and he just fires it again. There's a willingness to put himself out there and try and compete, including offensively, which I think is good. He'll get to the paint, he'll finish. Um, so he's just that competitiveness, the willing to put yourself out there on both ends. I think is something that's encouraging for us.
Coach, you talked about the run in that second quarter, and I think the third quarter you all were tied with the Wizards in terms of what each team scored during that period. So, do you feel like the hole was too deep? What do you think made it difficult to kind of get over the hump?
Yeah, I mean, we were down 17 at the end of the first quarter, and it really, there were a few times when we got it to 15 or 12, and I thought, maybe to start the fourth quarter, we make a three, and if we could get a stop, and DeLon Wright steps up and makes a three. So, yeah, it's a big hole, 17, and just could never really. It felt like the whole game hung around that number.
Coach, what do you think about Ingles so far? These last two games, he's really stepped up in the flow of the offense, initiating things a lot more in the absence of Hill and Holiday. What's his role going to be like when those two are back healthy, especially with the second unit?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's, there are some good opportunities for him to have the ball even more. We hope with the second unit that he can be a playmaker, facilitator. And really, when, you put him with the starting group and another guy that can, make passes, make shots, can do things, both with the first group, the second group. And he's just such a good passer. It stood out the other night, maybe not as much tonight, but we just got to keep working, helping him, putting him in good spots.
With the starters in a lineup with the big three, let's say, do you see him as more of a connector or a guy who's going to finish possessions in that context?
I think connector is a good word because he's just, he's such a great facilitator. He finds guys, he sees open guys. I think he can find bigs rolling in the paint, bigs rolling around the basket, and also find guys that are spotted up in space. So he's a very unselfish player. So I think of him as a connector for sure. All right, thanks.